What can you do for it? Chaz. It took me the entire song to figure that shit out. Goddamn. Really? That's weird. It should be coming through. You guys can't hear it at all? Really? Huh. Weird. This should be picking up, but... Right. Get the shit shared out. Come on, you slow ass computer. I've got good, George. There's so many windows open, George. Hi, Jennifer. How you doing? Right. Open the window. There we go. Listen here, you computer. Stop being stubborn. My computer. Be stubborn? Okay, got it. We're getting started here in just a moment, folks. Let's see. Go to Discord. Almost called it the wrong thing. No, I hit the wrong button. Oh, thank you, Odds. So generous of you. I'm glad one of us is prepared. Okie dokie. Why am I glad nobody can hear you right now? Yeah, I know. This time, yeah. No, they could hear you yesterday. Hey, what's up, Rick? How you doing? Let's see here. Click on this one. Oh my god. Discord, can you not be so slow? It's like they're gonna get started eventually. Oh my god, I got smartasses in here with me right now. Pop, my gut's full of lead. Oh shit. Alright, hold on. It's my computer that's running this slow, so it cannot handle the sharing. It cannot handle the sharing, I swear to God. It's like, I cannot multitask. This is my computer right now. Cannot handle too much sharing. Oh, in the lab. Very nice. Very nice. Just when he forgets that nobody can hear him yet. Smart ass. Almost done sharing. Almost done. Alright, I think we've shared it out everywhere, so... Yay! Finally! Okay! Hello everybody, welcome to the Let's Talk Cod Shop podcast.
And maybe he'll remember turning on our microphones.
I think your microphones are already on. See? It's moving. Yeah, they're on. People can hear you now.
Alright. Yep.
Well, we are talking about 2K25 tonight, and we are joined by one of our GM mode friends, Chaz.
We were going to have both of our GM mode brethren, but one of our brethren has a headache and decided to duck out because health is more important than anything else.
Yep. How about a test press? That voice hurts. That voice hurts to try and make. That's what's really funny. It's like
it's not that bad, actually.
Oh, this press. It's hard for me to do now.
Better stop talking shit on Skynet when they send the
shit. Damn.
Yeah, Colonel, you must listen to me. You must do the test press.
God damn it!
Normally that voice is not that hard to do, but it currently is
good.
But it currently is hard to do with my stomach feeling like it's being bogged down by a boulder.
Ooh, that's not fun.
No, not really.
You get more fiber in you, sir. But before this turns into a health podcast,
and before my foot goes straight up Beetle's ass.
Welcome to this new format of podcast where we're not going to talk about call or anything. We're going to talk about your health. We are sponsored by DDP Yoga.
I was like, yes, I know I'm a fat piece of crap, okay?
GM mode's fun.
Hey, Beetle, enjoy this.
Why? I thought I was immune during the podcast. That's the one time I get a rubber chair.
Nope. Not today.
Ah, shit.
Sorry, I swapped your chair out, Beetle.
Damn it. I knew having a guest, I'd have to sit in the damn metal chair again. Anyway.
Hey, if it wasn't me, it was going to be Rage.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, either one. Alright.
Did you eat a Monster ice cream bar? A Monster ice cream bar? Odds?
No.
Alright.
No, I've been having stomach problems for the past couple days. Hopefully it is clearing up, but
Frozen ball.
That does not help my current agony. But I'll get through it for the podcast.
It's like I'll be okay. Okay.
Bullshit. That's not how I work.
I know. He was wearing a what? Uh-oh. I didn't wait, what? Anyway, we're gonna focus now on the podcast.
Rubber what? Yeah, I think he said a rubber dildo.
I said I was sitting on a rubber chair. but it's not rubber; it's metal.
I didn't hear chair. I thought I heard dildo.
Actually, Blaze, they're all the ones that are sitting on. Never mind. Anyway.
Ew!
They threw their chairs away now. Somebody quick shot them.
What dirty mind Beetle is on?
Oh God! All right, can we get on topic before we get?
Wait.
This is.
Wait a minute. We have a topic.
Yeah, we do have a topic. It's called 2K25.
The game that currently is
The
probably
game,
in a lot of hot water right
the game that's currently out right now that some of us are doing shows in and stuff with.
Yeah.
Some of us. I mean just one of us.
Probably just me right now, but
just you right now currently.
So
Blake is just about to join you.
God damn it. Gosh dang it. We are not going to get anywhere in this podcast
Rage
right
is
now.
Missing out.
So
Rage is missing out on this shit.
Damn you, headaches!
Just damn you, headaches. Actually, I had a migraine when we started. That's the fun part. Okay. So we are talking about 2K25, where we are in the game, what we've noticed, playing it, and kind of like what our opinions are on the game itself, right here, right now, at this point. Like 2 months into the game now, or like a month and a half in, I think.
Yeah.
2.5. Actually, 2.5 months, because it would have been all of April, all of May, and half of March. So it's been 2.5 months.
Yeah, but also the game is kind of in its half lifespan.
Yeah.
Currently.
Mm-hmm. They've had a DLC. And one DLC so far, and one coming up, which is going to be very interesting because it's going to be the first. But we'll get to the DLCs later.
I was gonna say a DLC that's not even fully out yet because they didn't even bother to announce the last person part of it.
That's true.
That is true. That is very true. I'm surprised that that's the case.
Do you guys think it was possibly that heel Cena that they just patched into the game?
No, that's my faction.
That's my faction?
No,
oh god.
Apparently that's gonna be my faction. I'm kind of hoping that it's gonna be for that that territory thing.
Oh, like where the CM Punk thing. So you go and
that's at least my current hoping, but
all right.
I mean, the new current heel Cena would be the only reason I would ever go through any type of long, lengthy bullshit on my faction, but that's getting off topic.
Where in my faction is that? So that's in. Is it?
I don't know. They haven't released anything about it yet.
Okay.
It's either gonna be live events or possibly the World Tour.
I'm hoping for World Tour so I can just do it. So I can just do it whenever. World Tour. I'm more hoping World Tour so I can just do it whenever. So I can do it whenever the hell I want, rather than a timed thing of having to choose a specific card and whatever.
It's actually.
if I'm gonna choose any specific cards, I'm going into Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm not playing some freaking wannabe app game.
Yeah. So this is that World Tour you guys are talking about, where you just challenge the regions.
It's pretty much like Towers in a way, but just with the cards that you have and all that. It's a very cool mode that they added. I was kind of more hoping that when they kind of showcased that, it was more tied into GM mode, but
it wasn't. And this is one of my main gripes about it. If Rage was here, he would agree, and I think Kyle can also agree with this. It's just this. There's this pointless part where if you're doing the Chicago City,
in
order to
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, in order to access the last part, you need a Roman Reigns card that you would get over in California.
Yeah, from the California side. But first, you would have to do the John Cena Boston one to get a 5-star to complete a 5-star tower run, and then go back. Then go do the solo one in California, and then go to
which the funny thing is about the
then go back to Chicago.
Which the funny thing is about the California one, you can't do the last part without the CM Punk persona card that you did.
So they're tied together.
But the annoyance factor comes in is you do that, you grind, you suffer through the matches. Then when you finally get that Roman Reigns card that you get rewarded from the third event, and you go back to Chicago to finally do that last part, you don't even use the card. It's just like, what was the fucking point?
Okay.
It's like, just let me have my CM Punk so I can have this pair of Burns.
Oh yeah, that's honestly right now. That's one of the things I'm holding off on. Eventually, I'm honestly thinking of, and this is just for private stuff. Me and I'm honestly at some point probably gonna do a share screen of just me suffering through it, and Beetle and Monk are going to enjoy my pain.
Probably
of me going through the solo one to get the card, and finish up with Chicago.
And per usual, I'll be enjoying your pain while I'm recording matches or something like that. That's normally what happens.
Invite me because I want to be there for this shit.
I was gonna say it's kind of fun watching odds play through these modes.
It's just fun watching you guys suffer.
Yeah, in some ways.
In some ways. It's like watching a rerun of me playing Bump of the Night, kind of.
Not really. I actually.
It's the bullshit. Hey. Hold on a minute.
Not really, Beetle. There's a difference. I have skill.
Wait, you can change regions? Oh, there's no other regions.
It's not here yet.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna come. What is it, Chaz? With the next DLC?
I don't know. I honestly thought we were gonna get it with this first DLC because we had Julia who made her name famous in Japan, plus Stephanie who also has some ties in Japan, and Motor City Machine Guns who also wrestled for New Japan. So that's what it's like. Oh, we'll get the Japan thing, maybe some things there and all that. No, we haven't gotten that. I don't know if we're gonna finally get it. Whenever they finally announce the final person who is supposed to be part of this pack.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Rick. Not to cut you off there, Chaz.
No, you're fine.
But Rick, to answer your question about, they pretty much everyone knows who the celebrity guests are now. Their codes have already been revealed from the game. People have already pried their code from the game. The NBA players have already been announced. I think Shaq's probably going to be announced at some point. So pretty much everybody from there can already be confirmed. So it's going to be KSI and Travis Scott. This part of the DLC was supposed to be Travis Scott. This special guest person is supposed to be Travis Scott. I'm assuming WrestleMania changed plans, and they're probably scrambling to hold off for as long as they possibly can until they can get maybe somebody else like KSI ready. And instead, I don't know.
Well, I am going to hate it
because that's pretty much all I can think of. Because after WrestleMania, it would kind of look bad on them for putting out Travis Scott as DLC.
Who?
NBA stars. Here's my thing about the NBA stars being a future DLC pack, and it's
honestly the next pack.
it's like with the Pat McAfee pack. It's just why? It's more of a glorified new moves pack, but at the same time, it has
some of the coolest, one of the coolest characters concepts, which is TNA's Abyss.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Pack. That's the only thing worthwhile of that pack is Abyss.
That and Great Khali. It depends on the Great Khali that we're getting. If we're getting the original Great Khali with that badass music, and we're not getting the freaking Playboy.
I think it could be that Khali, considering his render. It's not like the more jokey character they had him in his later part, but it's just like with the Pat McAfee pack and how I wanted it to be more. I wanted more NXT stars to be.
Oh yeah,
like for the second year in a fucking row. I'm not gonna get fucking Cameron. Give me my sword, badass woman.
But at the same time, I understand why, because of there is reasons for it, and that tends to what Ciampa had said. You get more money from being DLC as on the main roster than you ever do as NXT. You actually get priced down, so there technically is no real reason other than wanting to be in DLC to actually being in DLC.
Wow.
Because you might as well be getting pennies to the dollar.
Interesting.
That is why NXT, because NXT is still looked at as developmental. It is developmental, but they're not treated with the same amount of respect as when it comes to being paid as the main roster. That's why some of NXT stars kind of opt out.
Yeah. I mean,
because they're go ahead.
No, you could just lower the music all the way to 0, or just turn that song off. The jukebox. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rick. Just go into the freaking jukebox and shut that shit off. I do that. I do it every freaking year. I do it every year. The only game that ever stopped you from not stopping the soundtrack was 2K15, and my heavens, was that one of the main reasons I wanted to quit this series and leave forever.
Well, this year's
because if I had to hear a crappy country song singing about shooting bullets at the moon one more damn time, my controller and my console were going through the television set. There came a time where I had to mute the television set while on the main menu screen before going into a match, just to get away from the soundtrack that they wanted to claim was John Cena's workout track. Whatever.
Lucky for me, in 15 is when I discovered Skyrim. So I went, ooh, shiny new toy! 15 just sat on the shelf.
I feel like that's a kind of shot at me though with that crappy country song, because I love Florida Georgia Line. Oh.
I am not a modern country fan because of New Vegas and Fallout. Because of New Vegas, Fallout 3, and Fallout 4, I'm more of a I can tolerate old school country music because there's actually something to say, but that's going completely off topic.
Bless you, Gav.
I was gonna say this real quick. I was gonna say, as someone who's grown up in the South, because I'm from Texas, and grew up with country music basically all my fucking life. Like, some country you can get behind. Like, I know there's some country songs I like, but at the end of the day, all country songs are really about at times are getting drunk, breakups, and pretty much it.
Yep.
Cowboy boots and cowboy hats. That's pretty much all it.
Also getting cheated on.
That too. Because I mean, look. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go off of this. But sorry in advance, but just look at fucking Taylor Swift. She got all of her fucking songs are about her failed relationship. So she didn't change. She was country. And then when she goes and she moved to pop, basically the same fucking thing. I'm still waiting till the news of it's like, oh no, everyone, her and Travis Kelce have broken up. Oh, and Taylor Swift has a new song out. And what do you know? It's about Travis Kelce.
Oh boy. No. Let's move on, shall we?
Once again, I apologize to any Swifties in the chat.
Yeah, I think we've distinctly, completely rushed over and ran through pretty much everything my faction has to offer.
I couldn't see.
which is not much.
True, 2K19 did have Metallica, but it also has the most infamous main menu song before you even press start.
That's true, but I don't hear more than 3 seconds of that song as I press start and the entire thing goes silent.
God bless you, Blaze.
This was a weird thing. It's like I switched that song off because I don't mind the song, but just constantly hearing that opening part got annoying. But every time when I clicked start to go to the actual main menu, for some reason, no matter how many times I got on 2K19, it was always starts off with that song. I click start, go to the actual main menu, then it plays Lita's theme song for me.
Also, I'm just gonna say this right now. This is the only part I'm gonna say about the freaking passion. The funniest bit was then I did that 1 year where I decided, let me do something funny, and change Kyle's theme song to that for an entrance showcase, and I know I got everybody to hate me. It's like, blow my mind, blow my mind.
At that moment.
That is not surprising.
It was
that you would
at
do
that
and
moment
get people to hate your freaking ass.
It was at that moment that Kyle turned heel.
It was at that moment he knew he fucked up.
No, that was a joke I was about to make. He did the
heel turn.
John Cena heel turn. Remember that infamous segment where it's like, "How about a little heel turn?" Just.
Also, Beetle, I hate you. Why didn't I use that for a heel turn? Damn it!
That would be the perfect song to use for heel turn for you.
All right. Since we can get back on track, the most infamous mode, the island.
Oh God!
Fucking hell!
Can I honestly just sit here and be the odd one out and say that this mode is not really that bad?
Actually, you're not the odd one out here. I was gonna say the same thing. Actually, I rather enjoy playing it. You instantly get like 3 abilities that you can use in base game from making three different characters, and honestly, you can just delete the characters and out of sight, out of mind, and have those. Goddamn.
And have those abilities.
Also, Beetle, what is that monstrosity?
my weird character. Ignore it.
That ain't the weirdest one. Mine's a hillbilly giant chick.
I'll let Kyle have his point before I say mine.
Personally, I just don't care for the island. I'm just like
the island of currency.
Why do I have to? Like, the only thing I hate is the fact that they have so much cool shit that you could go and get, but you have to grind your fucking ass off to get any of it.
Or wait for codes. Or pay.
It's not even waiting for codes. It pretty much is, in a way, a more expensive thing than even the store is. Remember, for us in the audience that are not in the private private chats with me, Blaze, with me, Beetle, and Monk. I pretty much, when I was bored one day, went through and decided to, in 24, add up how much money you would have to spend just to get every single Persona card in.
Oh boy.
Bless your feet.
Hey, feet. Every single Persona
What
card.
did I just see?
How much money you would have to get? How much money you would have to spend to get every single Persona card in that store?
Oh boy, what's the amount?
My heavens, I believe, if I remember correctly,
Place that.
it was and hell, this was before any of all the Persona cards came out. The other Persona cards came out later on. You could get the AEW games DLC at least 4 times over.
Oh boy.
And that's a lot of money in and of itself. Just for those Persona cards, and that was before any of the other more expensive ones showed up. So I probably think you could probably get a new console just out of how much money you'd be spending getting all those damn Persona cards by spending real life money to get the amount of currency to get all of that. And I have a funny feeling the island, you would have to spend even more than that.
No, because as someone who has,
if you wanted to be lazy, go ahead.
No. I have experience in dealing with the NBA 2K side, where they had before they had the neighborhoods, but then they transferred to their own city. But my God, it's not. I know why. It's like, oh hey, here's our multiplayer hub world, blah 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 blah, where you can go to these different stores, buy things with our virtual currency. Yeah, I get that, but here's the difference though. Even if you're on NBA, you can just play the franchise mode, regular games, because no matter what you do, you at the end of those games you always get the virtual currency, the VC. And you can grind, you can get that saved up and all that. But when it comes to 2K, though, they just expect you to get the VC by playing the island, or buying it,
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's just. But then it's there was the whole controversy too, where they, in classic 2K fashion, they fucked everything up, especially when it comes to the CC, where now you can't really share the community creations with old gen consoles.
Oh, we'll get to CC. We'll get to CC.
And the thing is, I barely know anyone that actually messes with the island besides you two. Because I know Kyle doesn't really fuck with it. Rage gave it a try, but my God, what he was telling us, what he was experiencing, just the massive lag he was experiencing was making him sick. Because how he would turn his character, but it would just... I forgot how he described it. He would have to be here to describe it himself, but it was making him sick.
Because when you're pressing a button, you have to press a button a second ahead of time. Really, really think. With that lag. I know what you're talking about. I've had it before. Where you're a second behind. Good puppy. Puppy just took a slipper, I think. Hear you little shit. Whenever you hear you little shit, that just means the puppy just took a slipper and took off.
No, she's trying to grab my pants.
Ah.
Oh.
Get the pants. Get the pants.
It looks cool though. When walking around this place, it does look cool.
Monk has done it. Monk has done it, and we're talking to Mac. Mac has done it, and Mac is on chapter 2, and
I'm stuck.
and I'll eventually do it, but people have issued requests for cause, and that I have to
create.
That I have to create and get started more on. It's very nice that creation is actually fun this year.
That's to an extent, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. I have a more cheery opinion than most people do.
Except when 2K fucks it up as well.
I've personally been enjoying the island, but it's just me, I guess. I'm on the Undertaker match right now, so I'm not gonna go find him. I haven't even made
it to the Undertaker match, but I'll eventually get back to it eventually. It has been enjoyable, and you can unlock characters like Zero and Ghost Paul Bear as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how to feel about that.
I call him Pink Bearer since he's just pink.
This Paul Bearer looks like he stepped out of the NES freaking Friday the 13th game.
I was more thinking of Force Ghost Paul Bearer.
No, if he was Force Ghost Paul Bearer, he'd be more blue.
Chaz got a point there.
That is true.
Space Ghost Paul Bearer.
Oh yes, you think you have what it takes to take on my Undertaker. Oh, but you poor deluded
soul. Undertaker has the power of the yogurt.
Is this supposed to be Eddie's lowrider?
It is getting away. It's supposed to be like a little tribute to Eddie with the lowrider. But why?
To kind of solidify my opinion about like the island, it'd be fun if they weren't like trying to fucking like cash grab you for so much.
Yeah, if they weren't trying to nickel and dime you, we would probably. I think some people would give it more of a try, but
yeah, I would give it more of a try if they would also like I don't know, like make it so that some of the stuff you can unlock as objectives or something like that. Like I wouldn't mind having I wouldn't mind going for a mask and shit. So I'd be like, okay, so I know where to aim.
Yeah, I mean it's understandable, but like I said, since it's 2K, they've been like this with the NBA, and even in the NBA community, the whole city has really just it hasn't gone over well still, no matter what, because it's just not. Because at the time, it's also because it's like, what's the point of going to the city and trying to go on to courts to play against other players when I've done this, and it was such a long. I stood for 15 minutes of waiting for two other players to join me just to do a 3v3 game on a court, but no one did that. They just stood around, waited. It's just like this is what's wrong. It's like you don't. It's like they're picky on who they're gonna team with because for some reason they think their on-light stat sheets are so damn important, and they're like, and they like if you have a hot mic, oh my lord, the trash talk.
Yeah, like if you mean like if you're not on a freaking party and you're in there where everybody can hear you.
If you just have you're in there with in-game chat, you just have your headset. Like say you just have your mic muted, you just have the headset on, you just want to listen. But you can hear the shit talking going around. It's just awful. It's how I can compare it. It's just like how Marvel Rivals is currently, where when it comes to competitive, you just need to hope you have a good amount of friends to form a team with. Not like a full 6, maybe 5 or 4, or leave the last 2 spots for randos, but. It's damn near impossible to try to raise your rank in competitive when you're just doing yourself with 5 other randos, because you'll get the ones who get pissy about a certain character you pick, of how they think they're better at this character than you are, and since they didn't get it, they'll just throw the fucking match.
Yeah. There are some cool parts in here. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things with that is grabbing stuff from there that you can use out of this mode.
That's the problem, though. Is that you then have to expect people to actually go do it themselves. And if it wasn't such a grind, maybe I'd do it.
Exactly.
If it wasn't such a grind, I would absolutely do it just to get all the parts.
Oh yeah.
For what
that's why I don't do it.
For what my current plans are, if it weren't such a grind, I would definitely do it to get all the parts.
Mm-hmm.
But
especially to get Zero and characters like that.
Yeah.
And some people's favorites in here, the Prime bottle.
Well, is that a cat? I think it is. It's a cat with a crown. It is. That's pretty dope. I like that shirt. All right, I may have to come back and buy this sometime.
Well, let's go to another topic of discussion.
Yep. Let's get out of the island.
As we are enjoying Beetle trying to struggle to get out of the island.
I'm getting there.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's being laggy, so...
Never got out of the island.
It's being laggy. I'm trying to get out. Because we were still talking about it, so...
Some say Beetle is still on to the island to this day.
Let me leave the island! I don't want to be stranded here.
Bye, Beetle. We're leaving on the road.
No, don't leave me on the island.
Bye, Beetle.
Too bad you can't change colors for anything. Yeah, that is also true, Gav. It's just like...
That's true.
You think after you unlock it, like, especially in the island, they at least give you the option just to change the color. Like, I get how they don't want to have it where it's like, oh, people are going to add their own images. I get that. Just have it where they just have the color wheel at best. Color wheel and material list at best. How about that?
Alright. So we left the island. Where are we traveling to next?
Well, since it ties in, we could go to creation.
Yeah. Google creation modes. There are 12 options this year. They've added create a sign, which is nice. You can just go and create signs right away.
That was in last year's.
Mm-hmm. And we'll go through them all.
All right.
Start with normal creations.
Started from the top.
Superstars.
And let's start with Mr. Positivity. Honestly, this is the most fun I've had making cause in many years. I haven't had this much fun making cause since 2K19.
I honestly will agree with Oz. Like, I've never felt so creative when it comes to this creation suite, because for fun, I made 2 different fun packs after I made my main calls for like companies and all that. I did the fun little Persona pack of like classic versions of my cause. Then just recently, I just did my next generation pack, which is non-canon children of my main cause.
Yeah,
There's just like so much, like, it's really fun. I will say, despite the hiccups that this creation suite has faced, it really hasn't really hampered much creation progress. I would say.
The only thing that's hampering my creation process is just doing my show. I have to have time to get back to doing it, but every single time I make a call, I'm having fun again. I'm not feeling like this is a chore. I'm not feeling like this is like the game is holding me back from being creative and having fun doing creations. 22. It or it doesn't feel laggy like it's almost unplayable like Skyrim on PS3. 20. it actually feels like a wrestling game again. It actually feels like I'm a kid playing SVR 06 and 07 again, just creating and having fun again.
I have to agree with you on that. I have really, really enjoyed the creation aspect of this game. Especially with Create a Superstar. I love how well things pick up in here.
Yeah.
Like, I love how the face photos pick up on the cause.
Mm-hmm. And that's all I want. I'm happy. If I can create and feel like a kid again, I'm happy. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Create a Superstar has been a absolute blast this year.
Oh yeah.
And I did have to figure out a little bit with my TV because certain things I was noticing, I was like, man, they're not picking up like last year. And then I realized it was a setting on my TV and not the actual game itself. So once I adjusted the visual settings on the TV, I went, okay, I'm happy now.
Yeah, that too. And it feels fun. It is fun. It doesn't feel like a chore anymore.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to get to move sets, but I'll say the same thing there too. It doesn't feel like a chore anymore. Like it's been for the past couple of games.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a chore anymore. It feels fun again. It feels like I'm playing a wrestling game again.
The movesets are also a lot more organized, and the way that you go in and set them up, it's a lot more organized than it's been in, like, 22 was a mess.
Oh, bar none.
22 was a complete mess. 23 was an improvement. 24 was a slight improvement on 23, and then this game is just like...
They finally figured it out.
Yeah. This game is we have finally figured out what we're doing, folks.
You can actually, in just having the differences of move sets. With 22, it would take even experts like me, people that have been making cause, especially all of us that have been making cause for damn near our whole lives. It would definitely take me at least a day and a half to work on one move set.
Should I jump into or this? It doesn't matter, does it?
While in this, it takes an hour. It takes an hour or two being as in depth as I am. It just takes an hour or two. It's fun. It's actually entertaining to do.
Yeah.
Personally, on my end, I do have a bit of fun with like creating my calls. Like, it is kind of nice to be able to like with some characters I've been able to like maybe find a part or two that I'm like, oh, I didn't think about this one before. Let me see how this one works. Like, if you don't mind going back into your creations over there, Beetle, because you do have an example of one.
Let me guess before you say it. Let me guess.
It probably ends with young
Jake Maverick.
Beetle, you are correct.
Oh, I was completely dead wrong.
Although I will say Leon was a pretty fun character to make because a buddy of mine was like, oh, hey, here's an idea. I'm like, oh, let me see this. Oh, this works. But as far as like what Jake goes, it was like the fact that like the first like start was like I had like the idea I wanted to go for, which is like having kind of the tights and the back, basically the back of those tights being like the shout outs to the Maverick Empire or whatever it's gonna be. But then also we have Beetle over there because we were both kind of contemplating ideas for like the attire and shit like that. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, here's this little trick. I'm like, oh hey, okay, this works. which I think was like the whole like taking that square, putting it over top the entire attire, and then going, okay, change the material, opacity goes down all the way.
Actually, what we did that for was the name on the back. See where it says Maverick on the back of the shirt? And then the dollar signs. I put when I open up if you go into clothing here, and you go to upper body into the jacket, you'll notice there's a square and a circle. The square and a circle are sitting on top of Maverick, and they're sitting on top of the dollar sign. And then I changed the material to glitter, so it looks like they're glittering, and they match the golden side of the uniform.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with Michael Bird, who was a character that Mitch had actually asked me to make. And then I just decided, you know what, I'm going to pair those two together this year because, well, they're both rich, they're both rich, and they're both cocky. So let's pair them together. That's why he's wearing these colors. But yeah.
But as far as like also with, like Leon was like having like the more simple attire worked. And it's one that I basically could work more with pretty much, is like adjusting like giving him like a pattern on one side or what have you. That's kind of what happens when you have a basic attire. It makes it a little more interesting to figure out like what you can do from there.
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't do it yet, so
I haven't added the camo on one half yet, like you asked me to. So we'll end up doing that at some point.
Yeah,
but it'll happen. I just need to actually have time to do it.
The only thing I don't really like about the creations, although in fairness, I will say, yeah, before I go into that, I do like the whole like AI thing where you can adjust the movesets. The only slight problem I have with is they didn't do anything to add the AI settings for their finishers, so I can't pick which one like he might go for more often than the others.
Yeah, that's one minus that I'll say too. You do have that thing where you can't choose what finisher they're going to go for more, or what signature they go for more than the other one.
Yeah.
Or if they're going to go for one finisher, like deciding if you want, like let's say I made Ashley Knight. Let's say I did, let's say I gave her, for some reason, instead of as a signature, I gave her the Iron Claw as a finisher. I would have it that she uses the Iron Claw later on in the match. At the tail end of the match is when she'd go for the Iron Claw. More often than she'd go for the bow before the Queen, just to test that out. There's ways you could test that out and decide when they would use specific finishers. But
yeah,
maybe that's for future projects. I'm more guessing it's probably going to be for future games and future projects. But it would be nice if it would have been in here.
Well, and with five finishers, that would make way more sense. Where it's like, which one are they going to go for first? Which one would they go for if they have to, as a last resort to finish the match? What's the last one they're going to go for? So let's say you have 5 different finishers, and you're in this really long match, and there's one that you only use when the match goes over a certain length. So if you end up getting a 20-minute match, if the match goes over this and last resort, have them do this.
Same, Rick. But also, when it comes to the 5 finishers, I know this is off topic, but let's just get this out of the way. For those making calls, if you are giving your Kaw 5 finishers and they're all straight up standing front attacks. Newsflash, they're not gonna do them.
They're only gonna do the first one.
They're gonna do the 2 main ones, and all the rest of them are just filler. You're not giving them anything. You're just filling space. The point of the multiple finishers is doing it from all angles and all different things like ground and in the corner and stuff like that.
And Gav, that's a really good point. You know, with the super finisher, you can make any finisher a super finisher this year. So that's a good way. Like
you could do that. You could do that in 24.
You could? Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, you could do that in 24. Any finisher could technically be a super finisher. It's just whether or not the AI will do the super finisher is the thing.
Yeah.
That's ultimately the thing with super finishers, is whether the AI is going to do it.
Yeah. I've seen them go for super finishers recently. I wasn't getting them at first. I wasn't getting any super finishers at first, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'm not getting any. All of a sudden, I see someone who's got the Cody moveset decide, I'm gonna do the triple crossroads. Funny thing is, he got his ass kicked the entire match. He pulled a Cody. He pulled a Cody Rhodes. He got his ass kicked the entire match and decided, I'm gonna hit the crossroads on my opponent and win the match. I'm just like, you son of a...
Oh, you mean he pulled a babyface?
He did.
He pulled a babyface move that babyfaces have done for at least over 150 years.
Yeah.
He used the babyface plot armor.
I'm gonna get my ass kicked the entire match, slowly build up my 3 finishers, and then hit my super finisher to win the match.
I'm gonna get my ass kicked for all the matchup, get shot with a shotgun, blown up by a mini nuke, and somehow crawl and survive, and then hit a move and pin and win the match.
Pretty much. But this one was my knockout, so he hit the triple crossroads, and the match was over, and I was just like, son of a...
Then that's the case of the whole Randy Marsh South Park meme. Was like, I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, mid-match, makes 3 hits the entire match, gets his ass kicked. Get to the end of the match. Super finisher, super finisher knockout, he wins. What?
No, I will say though, I do like it. I do like how now they handle the knockout system in like the underground or any other type of match. Like when you actually it's like the health bar actually kind of does matter more in those matches. Is you have to get them to when the health bar flashes danger.
Yeah.
And then after one more big move, they're done.
Mm-hmm. I've been liking the custom matches, but we're not there yet. Anyway,
We'll stop going ahead there.
I know I wasn't the first one who started that trend, but
it's all your fault, Beetle.
It's all my fault. All
right. Create an entrance. Do we really have to go any further than it's the same like every other year?
It's the same as last year.
I was gonna say same with Victory. It's like those two. I do like how they do at like sometimes 2K does that like a new entrance or a new victory motion, like a championship motion for like a certain wrestler. So I do like that, but there's really not much to discuss. It's the same. It's the same concept. But the one thing I do kind of wish they would possibly add, which would be fun, is like if you could change the arena of when they're doing their entrance, so you can see what it looks like in a different arena. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also for creative entrances, they really need to just bring back the old SVR stuff of being allowed to do a limousine or a lowrider entrance in every freaking arena.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to happen, but that'd be nice.
I wish it would, but
it's the same when it comes to, like, say, Jay Uso's entrance, or like, say, the Shield entrance, where if it's in a certain arena, they would come through the entranceway, or you get a funny glitch where they're walking on top of the crowd.
Yes, in the big arena.
Yeah, but at the same time, they could also, at the same time, they could also, for those entrances, they could also acknowledge what arenas the damn entrance works for.
Right.
That way, when you're setting up your character, at least.
Exactly. Especially for when you set up arenas. When you're doing shows, you get set up. Okay, I'm gonna have this call that's gonna do this entrance. I have to make sure that I have another entrance for her, a different type of entrance for her during this pay-per-view or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
I will also.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I was gonna say, like, that was like another thing I kind of wish is, like, it gives you the option to, like, set a different type of entrance for, like, a different attire you have on your call.
Oh, Gav, we were talking about the actual entrance animation, not the lighting. But it is nice that preview's there. That is a nice new addition to create.
Oh, they brought back preview lightings?
Yeah, you can actually, like,
basically,
when you're doing your entrance. So here, I'll go into one real quick.
It'd be nice for them to bring back all previews.
Let's go into one. I know it would be nice to have all previews back, but you can. We'll choose.
Beggars can't be choosers, and I'm happy that we have at least one of them back.
We'll choose this annoying little bastard.
What, American Phoenix?
No. The other troublemaker.
Delvin.
Yes. So you can actually go to the light show from here, and you can scroll through it and it changes. So you can see the difference. It doesn't work in tags, but it does work in singles.
I slightly remember that.
And this did not work last year.
I slightly remember that, Rick, but for some reason I actually remember create the original Create a Victory and Create a Taunt actually far more than I remember that. I don't remember why. I don't know why. I don't know why my mind instantly goes to that.
I forgot about that, actually. Scorpion.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, the next two, there's also not much to talk about when it comes to, like, creating a championship or a Money in the Bank briefcase. It's just the same.
They haven't really updated those ones in a while.
And also the same thing about like, I mean, show's a show. You just use that to set up the show you want to use.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is arena. They have like these new sets, new arenas in the games, but yet they don't really let you use any of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the basic defaults.
Oh yeah.
They did add the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown stages, the new ones. They added those in at least.
That is true.
Yeah, but that's two new ones. And after that, it's just the same old ones. Like, I used to make arenas for fun, but then it's like one of the things I just slowly stopped doing because there was, like, nothing new, and just, like, all those templates down below is just the same ones they've been.
I mean, creating an arena is still fun. but they haven't updated it, and it really needs to be given a good fresh coat of paint.
Well, especially nowadays,
it's been a while since it's ever been given it.
Yeah. Well, especially nowadays, since now on Barricades they have like the LED board, so you'd think they would add that as a feature for creators to use, but they don't. Like, just imagine you're tuning in for an episode of The Morning Wood, and on the barricade you just see the LED board that just flashes The Morning Wood.
That would be hilarious, actually, if the LED boards were in this. What I do like
I can see that, Rick. That's what they did sometimes if something was too difficult, or for whatever reason it was a 1 year thing that they just had something in a game.
Now, what is cool about this? Let me actually go here. This is one of the shows that I have coming up, and oh, they updated it and it moved. Shit, what happened to it? I had a movie up here. Or I had something up there. Where'd it go? Did they patch that? Damn it.
I think it looks like they may have patched it.
Damn. I was gonna say you could place the Minitron wherever you wanted. I had it sitting all the way up here. It was sitting up here behind the crowd.
Is that currently the thing up in the right-hand corner?
No, that's not. That's actually that belongs
part
there.
Of the.
Yeah, that belongs there.
Yeah,
I just wanted to ask because I was going to laugh my ass off of how Beetle was completely ignoring it the entire damn time.
I'm gonna say, don't ask what music is playing on it though.
It's SummerSlam too.
Just a surfer boy.
Surfer boy.
He's just a surfer boy.
Damn. All right, let's see if they screwed up Redemption.
I wouldn't say that, Rick. Because it is.
Hooray!
Well, it is supply and demand, as you know, it's supply and demand. And if we as a collective group of fans want something, they'll give it to us.
So eventually,
it's a part of supply and demand. And if the collective group of fans knew when they started working on the next game, the fans could possibly suggest things before even they got work on 26. But getting any amount of fans, any large group of fans together to agree on one thing is not going to happen.
Oh, there it is. I just had to select it to get it to pop back up. I like that you could place it there, though, which is kind of cool, because it's in the back on the wall, so it looks like there's a poster.
Yeah.
That's all I was going to
But it's...
Created
an arena needs to be revamped at some point, and honestly, ASAP. Not that it's bad, it just needs new stuff.
Yeah, it needs new stuff. I got a little creative with my arenas this year because
create a briefcase is just that. There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
Rick, I don't think create a story designer. Pretty much for everything of the old games, of the old stuff, they don't have that data anymore. Not even Ukes had that data anymore. So they would have to redo that entire coding from scratch, and as much as and story designer did win in most cases of win or get second place in what people wanted. It's something that I don't think they know. I don't think 2K or any of the companies that they give the games to make. I don't think they know how to do that mode. Oh yes, I'm not saying that. It's definitely in the top five of requests, but I think it would take. What I'm saying is, I think it would probably take longer for them to. It would take more than 1 year to get it working. I would not be surprised if they have it. If that's something that maybe that they are maybe even requesting as a possible thing to add to the games. Probably. But maybe that is being turned down by upper management.
This is an interesting feature that they did add, though, which is custom images or image. It's kind of it's not paint tool or anything like that, but you can kind of make your own images from in-game using the stuff they have in the create a character stuff. So it's in a way it's interesting. Like if you wanted to make your own brand logo and you don't have a logo editor outside of the game or any way to get images in, because some people do, some people don't. Let's say you don't. You can go here and you can actually make an image. So
it is their job, Rick, but at the same time they can only work on things that they are greenlit to work on.
And they can only code things that they have the ability to code and do what they can with the team they have. So it depends on how many people they have and how much money they have in their budget each year. That
and what upper management is telling them that they can and cannot make.
Yep. They're literally doing whatever the stockholders tell them to work on.
Pretty much, and with the gaming industry, they probably work countless nights and probably never go home for probably weeks on end.
Yeah. Creative video, same thing as last year. A lot of the same cutscenes.
Same thing as last year, and the same usage as last year. It's just for edited shows to grab segments and pretty much nothing else.
You can use it to make custom Trons and have those Trons play. I know there's some people who do that. Monk's one of them.
I do it once or twice, depending on who it is.
I do it like towards the end of I'm going to be doing it towards the end of this game of end of the year. But right now I'm using it to grab all my edited content, at least.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't upload them to CC, so there really is no point having a custom Tron and then uploading the CAW, and that custom Tron newsflash will not show up.
Speaking about uploading to CC, since we kind of moved there, no, you can create signs, attach them to your character, and when you upload your character, the signs actually do go with them this year. So that is an improvement in my.
That was the thing last year.
No, it wasn't. I would get characters and they come in with default stuff. They never came in with the signs.
I can confirm I had to upload certain character signs when I put up the call because if you didn't, their signs would go default.
Yep.
That's weird because I downloaded calls that had custom signs to them and they appeared in my game. Huh. I didn't have to go download.
What version did you have on what platform?
I had the next gen PS5 version.
That's probably why then.
well, our versions was PS4 version, so that probably explains it. That probably was a bug on the PS4 version that no one ever caught.
Well, I mean, plus it's signs. Most of the time, people don't even give a fuck about them.
I've been enjoying this year because the crowd actually uses them. Last year, I barely saw a crowd sign. In all the shows I did, I barely saw a crowd sign. This year, I see them all the time, and I really love it when a character's out there fighting and their crowd signs are up in the air. I love that. I think it's hilarious for the heels, though, because my heels, they have, like, fan signs, so Stan's out there stunning the shit out of everybody, and you see his sign up in the crowd. I'm just like, he's literally out there kicking somebody's head off, and there's somebody holding a sign up cheering.
I love you!
Yeah. I love you, you're amazing! He just kicked somebody's head off.
I'm a heel! I don't care!
Yeah. I'm a heel, and
It'll be over soon, don't worry!
I'm a heel, and
like,
I just RKO'd and punt kicked my opponent's wife. You guys are cheering for me. What's going on here?
No, it's Kyle during his heel run, and you have that one person in the crowd be like, Kyle, I still love you! I'm a heel now! I don't care!
Goddamn.
You beat a guy I like!
Let me just don't play your theme song.
Blow my mind.
Like, don't win the match. We don't need to hear your theme song, but we love you.
No, yeah, Kyle Turtile changes his theme song. You get that one fan in the audience. Please go back to Sabaton.
Blow my mind, blow my mind.
Kyle's just like, no, suffer.
Suffer
the passion.
Passion.
I stand for Stan.
As for CC, Cause getting stuck up there has been somewhat fixed. Some of the patches de-fixed it, but at least they found whatever the issue was.
Just still be careful. You might get that random occurrence when they still get stuck.
Well, and there is that weird thing of whatever game you're in, whatever version of the game that you have, that you go on CC first with. So whether it's the PS5 or the PS4 version, whichever version it is that you go on there first with, whenever you upload, are landlocked to that version of CC. So for instance, on my PS4, I can download a COD from PS4 CC, and then, or like, let's say I download a COD from Kyle or something, right? I can download one of Kyle's CODs from CC and have them on my game on the PS4. And if he says, hey, can you update them and re-upload them for me? Sure, let me do that. I go to re-upload, guess where it goes?
Yours to friggin' new gen. Mine goes to old gen.
Yep, it goes to PS5.
And
Same.
And pretty much good.
Same thing if I create something and I go to upload it and I'm on the PS4. If I go to upload it, it goes to the 5 still too. And then both accounts share the same download and upload thing for the online.
And what that tells me was that there was going to be a connection. Like last year, that was going to be what it was this year, but they got a certain memo from the higher ups
saying landlock it because of the island.
Because not because of the island. No. Not because of the island, but because of the PC, because of PC modders. That's the reason it was, because what most people don't want to admit or bring up was that some of the mods would crash consoles because me and Beetle can be attest to it, of people in our community that download stuff that will just say, damn, my entire save is gone.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, you find out that they downloaded a modded content.
Oh yeah, or broken.
That's not a hate on a mod. That's not a hate on mods. But mods have a specific order for them to be on a game for them to work properly, and even then there's a small likelihood that they're not going to work properly.
There's also not a I think they landlocked it to be better safe than sorry, and just leave the PlayStation 4 and the last gen versions to the approaching modders, because most people are going to be on next gen. Which I find hilarious that they left the last gen consoles to that, because the last gen consoles can't handle that. The 5 has a better chance of handling modded content than the 4 does.
Yeah, but at the same time, they could have fixed this real damn easily. They could have fixed this by announcing, "Hey, we're gonna give you guys a mod kit on PC
and landlock you."
And the PC is going to be landlocked to PC, while the next gen and old gen consoles are going to be landlocked to the consoles, and that's how we're going to separate it.
That would have made sense.
They could have easily separated it like that.
Yeah,
it's not that it wasn't that big of a difficulty.
Yeah.
And I guarantee, if you would have given the PC players a mod kit, they'd have just been like, okay, bet.
Yeah, well,
we'll stay here by ourselves. We're on the real island of relevancy over here. Well, go ahead, Chaz. You were going to say something?
Considering how 2K fucking hates modders, just look at status, for instance. They really are protective and all that.
At times for good reason.
Yeah.
All right. So we've talked about CC. Oh, there is one more change. One more change to CC now. There's no more. Most recent.
We're gonna talk about the elephant in the room.
The no more most recent.
Whoever was that decision maker, I hope you step on a Lego brick in the middle of the night.
Damn.
All I can say is, if you're going to
that is the nicest thing I could put it in any way, shape, or form without wishing bodily harm.
All I can say is, if you're going to be uploading a character for people to download,
I wouldn't wish bodily harm.
If you're going to upload a character for people to download, be very specific on the hashtag that you use and try to make a unique one. Because if you make a unique one, then people will be able to actually find your content. If you make a generic one, you could end up at the end of a line of like 1,000 pages. And that's a lot of scrolling for whoever's trying to find your character.
Very much. Get in the ball, my little stam.
So, this is the same stuff. Do we need to talk about the options menus at all, or no?
Not really.
Okay.
Not like they added anything.
All right.
Now,
you and I.
All right. So we've talked about my faction. We've talked about the island. GM mode.
This one we can all talk about.
Oh yeah, we have a lot to talk about this one.
I thought we usually save this one till like after like the first season or some shit.
Usually,
that's true, but
or did we just are we just giving our initial first thoughts since?
Honestly, our initial first thoughts.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Blaze. That's actually pretty smart. Sorry, hang on.
Mm-hmm.
He said there's a workaround for no most recent, which is just go to CC and search for last week, and you're pretty much got most recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Thank you.
Very much. Very much so.
I will say, one thing I like what they proved upon to this version's of GM mode is that, one, they increased the opening draft budget, even though it does also increase the amount of the superstars' contracts, so you still got to be careful with who you draft. But at the same time, now, is that the draft pool is no longer random. Whoever you select as active to be in that draft pool will appear in that initial list.
Mm-hmm. And we actually did that in our playthrough when we were setting it up.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for them to give us back our 10 million from the SVR GM modes.
If they do,
I kind of wish that too, because it would allow more freedom when you're doing, like, say, a 4-person save like we are currently doing. We can actually build a credible roster where you don't really have to worry about signing anyone else.
Yeah.
Or you still could, but it's just, I really do like the improvement. I do like how now your go-home shows feel important. They're just not like another show you have to get through. They're your show's pay-per-view, so you can take care of some business there. Then you can say that one match you want to do at the pay-per-view, the cross-band pay-per-view event. Then you can decide who you want to represent your show against the other show's picks, which I really enjoy. I think...
And also, to make it clear, it's one match on the pay-per-view for if you're doing a 4-player. If you're doing 2, it's 2 per GM. It's 2 per
person
GM.
Yeah.
For 4 GMs, it's one match. The only one that where you'll get another extra match is, if Rage was here, he would confirm it, is WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I talk like he's dead, but no, he's just dealing with the headache.
If Rage were with us today,
if Rage were with us today, Kyle, if Rage was with us today, he'd just be talking about how he's number one. He's number one.
He was number one.
He was number one. He passed away in a giant bottle mascot incident.
No, he passed away when trying to go after the Joker in Arkham City. It was a very tragic. It was very tragic.
Oh my gosh! All right. Honestly, I like the additions of the different brands and the different GM members.
There's like
one brand that I'm actually very surprised that they never brought back, which their title was only in one game, was AWA.
I'm
surprised they haven't brought AWA back, and they only had AWA for one game for the world title, and I'm surprised they didn't bring back any of their other championships.
Games
for a GM mode. I'm assuming probably some copyright issues or some bullshit, but
there's another show that they could have brought back that
I don't know what type of copyright issues you would have with something that WWE technically owns.
Well, there's another show in there too that they've had in the games in the past as well. Other than AWA, there was WCCW. That was in, I believe it was 2K16. They had all the Von Erichs in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, yes it did.
God damn it. So it would be cool to bring back some of the territories. From constantly patting himself on the back. There, we did a good job today! Oh, my arm hurts now. Why am I getting lightheaded?
Bless you, Gav. Yeah, I have no complaints with GM mode. It's actually gotten way better, and even though from a computer versus player standpoint, my heavens, do I have the worst luck in the world? Even in our 4-player mode, my heavens, do I have no luck with those brand matches?
See, my ass would be playing the brand matches. I'm making sure I win these things.
I'm gonna be doing whenever I get back to my private GM mode. My private GM mode that I'm now on that I'm now on year 2 on. I have decided, since I lost both of them at WrestleMania, that I'm okay. I am now playing all of these.
Yeah, I would definitely.
I am tired of getting my ass kicked.
I would
in these brand matches.
I would for sure play those. It's like I am playing this and making sure that I get a good.
I have no luck in the world.
I am making sure that I get a good have a good showing here. Screw this.
Oh yeah, didn't they have the Ron Simmons match where Ron Simmons pinned Vader in there?
I think so. The early 90s WCW would actually be a cool concept to have in the game too, with the blue arena.
Not real.
The
Not
blue
really.
and yellow. Not really. What?
Arenas, yes. Story wise, hell no.
But arenas, like having that as an option, as a brand.
But story wise, hell no. Because people forget that in that era of the early 90s, that's where, for WCW, that's where you got the ding dongs. That's when you got Ric Flair as the Black Scorpion. The Jim Herd era of WCW.
Yeah. Fun times.
But it's not what you want to have.
Yeah.
That's why they chose the one moment in time when Bill Watts was trying to salvage and bring WCW back from the freaking dead after Jim Herd killed it.
There's a
when he gave the world title to Ron Simmons.
Yeah. There's a Sign a Legend card in GM mode. I did not know that.
Oh yeah, no, there's a Sign of Legends card. I think there's like one time before I think I've seen it actually. Someone got it. It's kind of a rare one, but
Rick, I won one match in the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and after that I lost every single freaking one. I have only won one.
That's how they
even counting GM mode. I've lost every single brand match.
That's how they stay ahead of you.
I am the Gilbert of GM of the brand matches.
It says Pyro. Okay, everybody, grab the sparklers.
Yeah, Gilbert.
One of my favorite jobbers of all time.
Oh yeah, he tried to salvage with the best of his abilities, and then he found out that the higher ups at WCW couldn't pull a string out of a cat's ass, and weren't gonna help him try to figure out, and we're gonna try to help him at all. So he just said, "Man, fuck this, I'm out."
They looked at him and went, "You'll figure it out. You'll be fine."
No, they did everything to counterproduct him.
When you win the cross-brand show matches.
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea what happens when you win any cross-brand match at WrestleMania, because I never because that never happened for me.
No, I believe the Sign of Legend card is probably what you get.
Oh, the Sign of Legend card. Oh, fantastic! I'm glad that I don't get to have that opportunity.
That will be an interesting addition to this to our GM mode. You get to sign a legend. Ooh, that means and that first trade, everyone's going to be trying to either get the legend or not touch them at all. How much is their contract? Yeah, you can keep them.
but oh yeah, GM mode is fun this year. It's still not as good as 06 and 07's GM modes, but it's at least better than any of the previous ones since it's been back.
Should we go to Universe or
no? And this would be the one time that everybody else can speak, because I have not had the opportunity or time to mess with Universe mode at all.
All right.
Universe mode is just the same as it has been.
Kind of.
Really new. I mean, you can, actually, no, that's a lie. One of the new things is they did add where you can do 2-night pay-per-views.
So, not only that, you can do 2-night pay-per-views, but you can also decide where your pay-per-views are.
That's it.
Like, what night they're on. So, if I wanted to go in, I could edit this, right? I could hit edit. And then I can pick the night that it's on. So, if I don't want it on a Saturday, I can move it to wherever I want it to on the calendar.
Oh, is that Riley?
Yep. That is Riley Wolf. Welcome in, Riley.
Hi. Welcome in, Riley. And yeah, I know. I'm an old nostalgic. I'm a nostalgic old man hoping beyond hope that we'll get the old GM modes back.
So I could literally move it to a Thursday if I wanted to.
Nice. But speaking of GM modes, we are thinking, and we are still thinking and planning on possibly doing a SVR 07 through an emulator GM mode run at one point.
If I have the ability to do it. So
exactly. We're still working on it. It's going to take time. And we are still thinking about what we could do. Honestly, one of my thoughts is a 2v2 GM mode where two people team up and battle the other brand led by two other GMs.
I like that idea of doing like almost a tag team booking situation for it, where it's like you have two GMs working together to book the shows. I really feel with that one, what we would need to do is do that one ahead of time too, where it's like we meet up. I meet up with whoever the two are that are booking, and do a private call with them, and then switch to the other people to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have time to take your notes, do whatever you need to do, and really take your time and enjoy it.
And also with that, it would really have to actually have people write shit down, because there is a lot of segments you can do.
Mm-hmm. So this is
that would be pretty much be homework.
Yeah.
For a lot of things, but it would still be fun for the audience and us.
Yeah. This is one of the things I like about the calendar this year. All of these are pay-per-views. Every single one of these shows that you see on here is a pay-per-view. Now, what's cool is, let me go further down. This is a minor show. But here are my weekly shows. You can actually remove your weekly. You can remove your weekly shows from the calendar. That's what's really cool. You can actually remove the weekly shows from the calendar and still have them in use. So if you want to just set up a custom thing, like if you're as picky as I am with stuff, and everything has to be on the day that you're going to be doing the stream. For instance, my last stream would have been done or my next two streams are done on Sundays. I can't go back back to May anymore? Oh, that sucks. Right, but
you never could.
Oh, it's because I was still in May. That's why I was able to go back to it constantly. Yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, but I use Universe for some of my recording, but not all of it. And I also use it to track wins and losses. So, if I record a match outside of Universe, I go in and I make sure that on that card, whoever won the match shows as winning the match in Universe. These I delete as I go. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do them, but if I do have time to do a random or a pop-up morning wood, I will. But if not, I just delete it from the calendar and keep going. What wins and losses on these shows are going to, count towards the character's momentum and that kind of stuff. So I figure.
Wait, does this mode still have the damn power rankings?
Yeah, it does. So you can go to.
There's something that they can do. Can they please get rid of the damn power rankings, please?
I think it might be.
It is a bit annoying, honestly.
It was based off of the WWE magazine. When Universe Mode started, it was based off of the Power 25 magazine.
Actually,
which was their WWE Kayfabe magazine online thing of the top 25 wrestlers. And my gosh, in the original GM modes, could they not shut the fuck up about the Power 25?
I don't see the Power 25 actually. I think they may have gotten rid of it because everything's on this main screen now.
Thank heavens.
Not everything.
Where would I go to?
Go to edit shows.
Oh, yeah.
Shows.
Yeah, these are just the shows.
Just click on the show.
Okay.
It's like, see, edit power rankings.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay. So they're still there.
La Doi.
I would click on it right now.
Well, I think that's different. I think that's showing you the power rankings of
the show,
of the belt, of the belts, of who is about ready to challenge for a belt.
Yeah, which I do all that booking on my own outside of it. So,
and I actually like having that around because that actually tells me if I'm doing a custom universe. Who am who am I setting? Who am I going to put in a feud with the champion?
Yeah,
to build to the pay-per-view and shit.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I'm assuming the actual power rankings is somewhere if that's still the case.
Yeah, I believe the
they just need to replace it with some. They just need to replace it with something in my heavens, as quick as possible.
I think they just
I don't know what they would get rid of it for, or what they would add to it.
Yeah.
Or whatever, because or just get rid of the boosts for being number one. Or give that option. Give the option to get rid of the boost for number one, because that's just not fair. Because once you're number one in their so-called rankings, you're going to stay there.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I do like that they did, I believe this was in 24, but it worked for a time, and then all of a sudden it didn't work at one point for me, and then it worked again. One of the things that they did add back in is you can go in and you can set up rivalry cutscenes in free mode. Oh wait, no, it still pops up. Damn it. It's because I'm doing it edited. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, that's why. Never mind. But what they did add this year was promos. You actually get promos, but you have to set it up as two people fighting each other to do the promo, unless it's a single promo or a self promo. But you can do self promos and call out promos in Universe. They don't have any pop ups. It doesn't tell you what they're saying or anything like that. It's not like 19 where they'd have
they all cost you $2,500 to to do. Oh, sorry, that's another soft promo.
That's GM mode.
No shit, Sherlock. That's why I was making the joke.
I know. But they've added self promos, and that's kind of cool. I like that. I do like that they've added that in. I've utilized
they're gonna add advertisements.
That would be funny as hell. Watch them walk out with branded content or something, or have some like DX pop-up commercial. Like, I wish they would do something silly like that.
Oh, if they did that, people's heads would freaking explode.
My head would explode.
How dare they promote Nike? Them bastards!
I would laugh my ass off, actually. It's like an advertising promo with your character wearing some type of branded clothing, walking around, being like, look, wear these now.
It'd be freaking hilarious, because I would put Dee Dee in a freaking gosh dang
Nike commercial.
Advertising promo. as she's advertising Nike or Air Jordan.
Gosh dang it. I feel airheaded. Try wearing Air Jordans. It's Dee Dee walking around. Like, well, that makes sense. Or if they had a surfboard commercial, have Kelly throw Kelly in it. Like, all right, you're doing the surfboard commercial. You know,
anybody else have anything to say about Universe?
No.
Nope.
All right. So what's next? Matches.
I believe that's it. The play mode, pretty much.
Oh, My Rise.
Well, My Rise, yeah.
Haven't we talked about My Rise to death? Of how great it is?
Yeah. Somebody did mention something about the towers to unlock the characters. I did actually go in and play some of those towers recently, because I needed a part for somebody I was downloading. So
I know who it is.
Yep, you know which character it is. I had to go in and play to get the part so I could download the character.
I gave you 2 different versions.
It wasn't one of yours, actually. It was. I don't have perfect, or I don't have Jackson on the roster yet. ... I was playing to unlock the Natalia, a Natalia part and a Fanny part.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I needed to get one of my number 1 contenders from last year. Re-download her. So I actually went in and played the game to get the parts to download her. I was like,
yeah, but the My Rise was extremely fun.
Mm-hmm.
One of the funnest I've it's been in many years.
Yes.
I mean, it's not on par with SVR 06 and 07, but my heavens, does it get at least the closest it's been in a while?
Mm-hmm.
It's the story is just as good as SVR 08 story, and SVR 08 story is probably the only one of the few things good about that game.
Yeah. Well, then we have our final mode that we'll talk about today, which is the play mode. Pretty much it's the same. They did update something here. So, and I think this was...
It's great.
They have tons of matches. I do agree. Now, when you first opened it, you would open it, you would go in to play a game. Let's just do a normal match, right? It doesn't matter what arena we're in. I'm just gonna go in here for an example. You would go in and you would go to pick a character, but I don't want to play. I don't want to play. I want to watch, right? So you can hit square to toggle the AI off. And when you would go to the next one, they would actually have the AI on when you clicked it. So you'd have to, or they'd have your player on, so you'd have to toggle it off. Now they actually fixed it, so it's automatically off. So whoever you had it on first is who they're going to ask.
Yeah, other than learning that little difference, I like all the matches. I like everybody that's in the game. I like the fact that there's going to be more.
Mm-hmm.
I love the tons of different weapons. I love the tons of different arenas. I love the fact that most of the characters are back from 24, so it actually feels like an actual sequel.
Yeah. It feels like we got an updated version of 24 with, and all, how do I put this? Because I was one of the ones who stayed in that game even after everybody left. I stayed in for a little bit. Not as long as some people, not as long as Monk. He stayed there.
Oh, just bring up
all the way till 20. All the way till 22. 20. This reminds me of the good parts of 20. Not the bad parts, the good parts. The way the logos apply to the characters, how crisp everything looks.
There's actually good parts of 20.
There were good parts in 20. So the characters looked really crisp. The game was ahead of its.
I missed that. I was having fun on 19 for at least 5-6 years.
Yeah, that's nice. There were parts of 20 that were really nice, but there were also parts of 20 that completely and utterly sucked because it would crash all the time. The crashing was the worst.
Obvious.
The crashing was the worst part. Anyway,
you kept an obvious.
But there were fun parts to 20. They added some fun stuff. Had the programming of the game been a little better, it probably would have been one of the better games in the series. But again, this game to me just has the best parts of 20. Because they brought some of it back, but not all of it. Yeah, I know.
That is something, Rick, but I actually like that because it actually gives it its own different feel. And if you do one of all the different types of personalities, you actually get three completely different stories and choose it. And if you choose all the different path lines, there's actually a lot of different things you can go off and do. And it actually keeps it refreshing.
What is nice about this career mode is you can play through all 4 of those in the amount of time it would take you to do one playthrough in a previous year. They did shorten it, so it was to just build off of what you're saying, Odds. You know, you can run through it and then do a new game plus to unlock everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And save your stats, save everything you earned in the first playthrough,
that's
run through it again.
A new game plus.
Yeah, so you get a new game plus, which is something that they didn't give us in previous games.
Yeah, because my heavens, who in the hell wants to go through 2K22 story mode again?
I would much rather go through. Actually, 22's wasn't bad. I prefer 22 over 20.
Oh, 20 has it. 20 has the enjoyableness of our playthrough.
20 has Brooklyn Von Braun as your main rival.
Yes, it wasn't that an enjoyable hilariousness of us having fun with that?
I hated that story.
Didn't you love President Rock and how well that idea aged?
I hated that story. The first playthrough.
Okay, real quick. I know I'm driving right now, but here's my 2 cents on the 2K20 story mode. I'm with Beetle. I fucking hated it because the story sucked, but also, I'm sorry, the career mode is supposed to be the players made characters they're supposed to project themselves to, you know?
Uh-huh.
I could not fucking do that because of how terribly written fucking Trey and Red were.
Plus I agree. They are horrible characters.
Well, plus you had the stupid side plot of this supposed big secret Red was keeping about Trey's parents actually being fucking dead.
For me, it's so bad. It's entertaining because me and Beetle did a co stream of it, of just going through the damn mode, and it was hilariously funny because we made it as made it as raunchy as humanly possible.
Yeah.
So we could just make fun of it in every way humanly possible we wanted to.
Again, the first playthrough was fun, but having to play it 8 times. So this is what
your
I'm
own damn fault.
No, this is what I'm getting to though. To unlock all the parts from the 2K20 career mode, you had to play it 8 times as 8 different pairs of characters just to unlock all the weapons, all the parts, all the stuff. You literally had to play it 8 fucking times. Not 4, like this current game. 8. So, when it comes to, I have to play it 4 times? Okay. 20 I gave up on. 20 I played through career mode twice and then just fuck this. I don't need those parts.
I told you to give up on it a long time before you did, but you're the one that had a nervous breakdown of just like, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I'm going back to 19. It's like, I told you to get back on the 19 boat a long time ago, you dumbass.
I got tired of the game crashing on me. It kept doing it. I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Tried, but I just hated the fact that I couldn't upload a call with all the logos I wanted on him.
Mm-hmm.
But also, just to go back to my career mode for a quick second, yeah, it was worse for me because I had started it up playing it as 2 of my main cars, Kyle and Akira Young.
I remember this.
So basically, if you want to look at the entire thing, you have to believe the fact that apparently Akira knew that Kyle's parents are dead and just kept it from him.
That and Kyle Young. My heavens. Kyle Young sneaking a win and winning the WWE Championship and walking around in a damn trench coat.
Oh, God.
Sneaking around like he's some secret agent. It's the funniest thing you could ever see.
I think
it's like, oh, Young, this
I remember when you streamed
dude.
it. I was
really?
my ribs were hurt. My ribs were hurting so badly. I was just laughing my ass off.
That's weird. He's played it 4 times and hasn't unlocked everything yet. That's weird.
Well, yeah, because some of the stuff is in the heel side of it. Well, just one side of the heel side of it. That's the 4th is the heel side.
Oh, siding with Mutiny.
Siding with Mutiny is the heel side.
So back on
there is one thing that I haven't gotten in that, which is apparently surprisingly some things with Charlotte Flair, which I thought I picked Charlotte. I thought I did Charlotte Flair's side of the story. I don't know where the hell those items are in my eyes, but anyway.
I just finished playing
back to the 2K20 career mode real quick. It also doesn't help that they set up the main fucking antagonist to be Samoa Joe, who becomes so obsessed with Trey that there's the infamous cutscene where he talks about how he's missed birthdays, weddings, fucking anniversaries, and all that shit. I'm just like, what the fuck? Then he comes in with
a metal arm.
Yeah,
the cyber arm.
He gets a robotic arm, and the climactic Mania match.
He becomes the Winter Soldier.
God damn it!
The supposed big final match is just a fucking mixed tag match that ends anticlimactically. There's like nothing.
It's essentially with you tapping them out. That's it. There's no apologies from them.
There's no repercussions for any of these characters' actions. Brooklyn Von Braun got off scot-free.
Yep.
Yeah, she fucks off. Joe was never the same. He was seen, sadly, because then he got released before 2K. Wait, was he in 22?
He was in 22.
Oh, it was 20.
He was in 23 as well, I think. I think it's 24. No. 24 was...
No, Joe was caught within the power struggle between Vince and Hunter. Between Vince and Hunter. Vince released him because Joe is a Hunter guy. And at this point, Joe has pretty much made it completely clear that once his contract is over, he'll be back.
Or retires, you never know, considering he's getting up there in age.
He'll retire. He said he'll retire in AEW, but he will be back in WWE right after his contract ends, meaning he will be a backstage guy in WWE once he retires. So he will be back because he is a Triple H guy.
No,
that's why he was fired.
Pull a joke. No, imagine they pull a joke where fucking they have Samoa Joe just do a backstage segment where it looks like he has a robotic arm. He's like, sorry, I can't do this. Takes it off. Be like, I can't believe I also had to do that for a fucking video game.
I would love that. That'd be amazing.
I would love it if they did that as a joke in the game of just having him show up and have someone say, "Didn't you have a metal arm?"
That was fake.
Yeah.
Did you really believe that? Did you really believe that? My heavens!
Like, dude, you could clearly see it was falling apart on my arm.
Yeah, it was falling off when I went for the clutch in that one cutscene.
It was made of styrofoam.
Yeah, it wasn't even made of steel. It's actually plastic spray painted to look like steel.
It was given to me by Wendy.
God damn it!
Oh, Wendy!
Burger King's down the street, okay?
And also, it's just the fact that also, like, at one point, your male character is just like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna go be a judge or host for this show called America's Next Top Hand Model.
Good gracious. I forgot about that.
Like, no, Kyle, no! You do not want this!
What's even funnier is that during Beatles run, his character was like 7'4" or some bullshit, and they kept shrinking him down to like 5'3".
That's right, they did. I made a character. Also, he looked like freaking Santa Claus, pretty much. He was 7'4", and every time one of those high school cutscenes would happen, they made him shorter than Red. Which is like, what the fuck, Trey, man? Yeah, I didn't know you were Ant-Man.
No, I'm sorry. The fact that he's called Trey is because he slipped on a fucking lunch tray. I'm just like, oh my fucking god, why?
And then they tried, but at least with that mode, they gave me one of the best lines that I repeated during my 2K20 review. It's not torture if you're paying for it.
Yep.
Oh, because of that one fucking school.
I kept repeating that damn clip every single time I was talking about the whole damn game.
What was the guy's name? Riley something?
Riley Flash.
Riley Flash. There you go. Good old Riley Flash.
It's like you're not.
It's not torture if you're paying for it.
It's not torture if you're paying for it. Kept repeating it.
And they had one of my favorite arenas in that game too, from that storyline, the Winterfest arena.
Probably the only positive thing.
It actually had snow. You were wrestling in the snow, like literal snow falling from the sky during the matches. It was a cool arena.
To be more positive than me, you have to get used to it.
They had some cool shit, but I mean, they did. Yeah.
It reminded me of the classic like the SmackDown games where you can wrestle inside the arena.
Yep. Here, just bring it. You can wrestle in the snow.
Just bring it. Shut your mouth. Here comes the pain, Cole.
Here comes the pain.
Bing, 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 bing.
I miss. They need to make Riley Flash a just
What's
like
even
just
better,
like Tavish. They need to make
honestly
make
one of the
Tavish.
coolest things about this GM about this My Rise is that one of the options is all the past 2K characters.
Mm-hmm.
In my heavens, you could tell they had fun writing for Trey and Red.
They were like,
they have so much fun. They have so much fun. You could tell they needed this release of how bad that game was so much.
They were like, we know how much you guys hate this, so why don't we make fun of it ourselves?
Like, we're gonna do you.
So many inside jokes and so many jabs at so many things that the fans' hate for the damn game. It was so funny as hell.
Also, yeah, Gav, just go back to 25 for a quick second. Yeah, the LA Knight inside jokes were funny.
Oh, yeah.
I just played that story the other day, the freaking the archive job. Can I just say, though, that is probably my favorite entrances ever. The fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin, like, monster truck entrance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if a certain Desmond Rouge were in the game, the monster truck does work. I'd probably give that to him just as a cool entrance.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I just want to save the freaking that monster truck entrance for Max for a freaking a Mania entrance or something.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. High octane.
It would work. It would fit the title too. Rolls in a monster truck, pops out, do the glass breaking, play the music.
Mm-hmm.
Give that to Stan.
I believe we've milked this. Well, we've milked this beast for all it's worth.
Yeah, I think we have.
Now we're going between talking about the My Rise and freaking 2K20's GM mode of how hilariously bad it was.
I didn't know there was a GM mode in 2K20.
Whatever, My Rise, My Story.
I'm just giving you shit.
Shit we just shot out of our ass. What the hell do you want to call it?
I don't know.
In 2K20. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the shop is officially closed.
And we will be back in probably 2 weeks. If we come back earlier, we'll let you know.
We'll be back in about 2 weeks with more with more topics, and we have, as always, we have to fill the shelves with more knowledge for you to get your hands on. But until then, I've been Odds Cornet.
I've been Triple B.
And Kyle Young.
I've been the bombastic bagman.
Gosh dang it. Bless you, Chaz.
And this has been the Let's Talk Call Shop podcast. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
In the words of Ray.
Oh, go on.
Show's over. Get out of here.
Can't stay here.
Go home.
Go home. You can't stay here. Go home. You're starting to worry us.
Have a nice day, everybody. We will see you all next time. And I will see you all tomorrow morning. So happy they can't hear you now. So happy. Good God. Damn it, Odds. Damn it, Odds! heavy. I heard hairy, so